Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jake. Okay. This is such a fun group. Oh my goodness. I love everyone in here. It's awesome. Everyone obviously loves each other too. All right, guys, ready to roll. I need like my little bell or something. Oh, I know. I got a bowl, Kayla. A sound bowl. I should specify. I got a sound bowl. All right, welcome everyone. How are you all doing today? Good. I talked to most of you coming in, but I just want to put it out there. Obviously, this is a new class for me. I'm subbing for, I think, Nicole, Gentle Yoga. Are there any requests? I got some hip things that are going on, pointing to the hips, low back. Okay, anything else like glaring for people? And that can be like mental, emotional support as well. The fall brings up a lot of sadness for many people. So if anyone wants to work in that realm, we can go there. Any specifics? Feet. Oh, she's challenging me this morning. Yes, we will go there. All right, and then we have some people joining online too, so that's really cool. So I haven't live streamed in a while. I'm gonna try to really enunciate and articulate my words. If you have any questions, you can always type in the chat. All right, let's start today. Does everyone have a belt with them? Or did you grab a belt from the studio? And I want to say, if you're joining from home, this is a really easy prop to omit for the first posture, but I'll show you if you have one just in case. Everyone's going to just take a big loop with their belt. And we're going to take this for our first posture to really set Sukhasana. All right, so I'm going to start with my loop, yay big, and then watch really closely what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just loop it around my legs. Yeah, totally get up and move if you need to, or switch belts or look. And then I'm going to set it so that it gently holds my legs. Okay, now I want you to look really closely here. The belt's a little loose. Okay, everybody pause with your belts and look, put them down. Preschool teacher at heart. Okay, if I pull it too tight, do you all see how that's really straining and not comfortable? But if I loosen it, this is why I want you to start a little bit bigger, because it's much easier to tighten than loosen. I can just let it set there, holding my legs, holding my hips for support, but it's loose. Okay, so if you missed that, all I did was wrap my little loop around my feet, walk it all the way up to my mid-thigh, take the same cross of the legs that we work in supported alignment. I'll dissect that in a moment. And let that belt buckle rest in the middle. Okay, you can start to set up. Everybody grab a bolster and a blanket to sit on at least before you loop yourself. Good. And if you're familiar, by all means, close the eyes, go inside when ready. But if you're newer to me or you haven't practiced with me in a while, look at my legs really carefully. So I'm letting my ankles land under my knees, and really that's the best way to use this prop, because if you take the ankles here, the belt gets really tight, your posture gets all wonky. So I'd like for you to set up in this way. Another way to look at it is the calves cross, the shin bones cross. So yeah, you're crossing at the ankles, cross a little further today, my friends. And then just check your setup, place a block on the outside of your thighs. Make sure both the sole of your feet and the thigh touch. And it's going to feel maybe a little tight if you haven't been here before. Then scooch the shin bones forward so they're parallel with the front edge of your mat. Good. And if that belt is really high in the groin or high thigh area, bring it down to about mid-thigh. And maybe, yeah, Kayla, loosen it a little bit. Okay, so much work for the first posture, my goodness. Palms face down on your thigh. Don't worry if they touch the belt, not a problem. Close the eyes from the top to the bottom. And before we fully start here, just raise your hand if you do not want individualized instruction or hands-on adjustments. Okay, beautiful. Now, if you're joining from home, you can see that the belt is easily taken off. You don't need it, but do sit on some height. And those first few moments in this pose, they're like no other. They set the tone. They let you separate from your busyness, chaos, joy, all to come to that place of neutrality, your yoga pose, your practice. As you sit and start to absorb the nature of this posture, how your body feels today, take note. Is there a specific emotion that has been running primary in your world lately? And if you can pinpoint it, see if you can look at it from that place of just passive observing. Not good, not bad, just is. Let's widen that belt a little bit. It's going to give you a lot more space, even though your hips are very open. I think you'll like that better. Is that okay? Take all of your focus and your attention to your sitting bones and see if you can even them out right to left. Once you find that evenness, see if you can even them out front to back. And from this place of grounding and stability, lift your chest to your chin. Keep that height you've just cultivated in your spine, but let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Let's take the hands into the heart. We'll start class today with one Om. So take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, release the air. Inhale for Om. Lift through the side ribs if you've collapsed, and lower the head with the eyes closed. Bring the hands down, palms up. Take a moment here to insert any intention, dedication, prayer, affirmation, whatever's appropriate to you. Take as long as you need here, especially if you're feeling a little more fatigued or tired this morning. Definitely feel free to linger. When you're ready, the head will raise. And again, when you're ready, the eyes will open. Okay, let's take a very gentle twist. Go ahead and take your right hand on your sacrum. Left hand comes all the way across and grabs onto your right knee. Take a deep breath in to push down evenly through the sitting bones and lengthen the spine. On your exhale, really let the elbows bend open and twist over your right thigh. Yeah, so I'm showing you a little bit what that looks like if there's confusion, but letting the elbows wing open can deepen that twist. Good, now allow yourself to kind of ebb and flow with this posture. So the inhales gradually lengthen the spine up, crown of the head reaches to the ceiling. Exhales twist you deeper. And as you continue with that breath and that movement, see if any amount you can roll both shoulders onto your back body. And for most people, that left shoulder in particular is going to be a little hard to get back there. See if any amount you can soften. Now take one more deep breath in. Exhale, twist deeper. Keep that twist, and this is going to feel wrong, but trust me on it. Look over your left shoulder. Yeah. Soften the head down, the chin down, the shoulder down, but keep the twist to the right. I promise you it's right. Some of you are giving me looks, some of you knowing smiles. Nice. Good, Annie, that was great. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, come on back through center. All right, now we're gonna go right to the other side. Take that right hand over to your left knee. Left hand comes to your sacrum. Deep breath in. Again, reach the spine, reach the crown, let the elbows wing open, and exhale, twist. Now, the beautiful thing about twists is you can take them very soft and gentle. That's the mood you're in or the energy you have. Or you can really activate them by pulling and pushing with your arms and really experiment what it feels like to lift the elbows, to let the shoulders come on your back. So really it is up to you how much you deepen this twist. But stick with that same intention. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, twist deeper. Really nice. Now start with that intention again. Both shoulders go on your back body. Good. Really soften into that right shoulder. Left shoulder pulls back. Now again, sternum keeps moving in that same direction. Torso keeps moving in that same direction. Bring your gaze over your right shoulder. Yeah. Now tell it to get on your back body. Soften back there. Yeah. Good. Let's take one more deep inhale here. Exhale, twist deeper. Final expression of this pose this morning. Fantastic. Inhale. Exhale, come on back through center. Are we feeling our hips yet? Yeah, switch the cross of the legs. Now make sure you're pulling yourself back on that bolster so you're not coming totally forward. I want you to feel supported in this. Take your hands onto your knees, and we're gonna just start to very slowly, intuitively circle forward and back. So when you come forward, see if you can pull in that back bend in the upper spine. Those of you who were here last night, this should be very familiar. Back bend, that area between the shoulder blades. When you pull back, think cat pose in your back, rounding through your spine. And yeah, totally fine. Go as fast or as slow as you need. Work with your breath. That is a-okay. This is a class that you can keep your eyes closed during if you're called to do so. This is a class you can utilize your breath as needed and as wanted. Now, I'll invite you to get a little more detailed. Are there any places within this circle that feel really sticky or stuck? And if so, whether that's the hips or the back body or the chest, can you pause there and send a little bit more breath to those body parts, asking yourself to surrender and let go? When you go there, when you do that, how easy or not easy is it to release? All right, gently go the other direction and feel free to keep this very intuitive. What areas feel sticky? What areas feel stuck? Where do you need a little extra love and support? Good. Let's take about 2 more rounds of that. Pause in the center when you're done. Take your hands behind you, fingertips point down, palms or heels of the hands touch onto the bolster. Peel your elbows in together, peel your shoulders in together, lift the chest. Good. Now I want you to just momentarily really activate those upper back muscles. See if you can turn them on. Lift the chest, making a back bend in your upper back. And with that action, can you lengthen the low spine, isolating that back bend to the upper back muscles? And can you release any tension in the jaw and the neck and any holding in the tongue? Just like we did with the twist, feel free to make this pretty fluid. Inhales, maybe the spine lengthens. Exhales, maybe you back bend deeper. Good. And this, again, you can really work this or you can take it a little bit more passive. Let's take one more breath in here. Exhale, come back to center. If you need support from your hands to lengthen your legs out in front of you, please do so. Go ahead and take that belt off. Let's clear the mat of props and take our blanket down on the center of the mat and come to tabletop. Hands and knees. Today, we're going to take our wrists and our hands underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips. Good. Once you're there, find a very neutral spine. Pubic bone pulls in and up toward the navel, chest pulls forward. Good. Spread evenly through all of your fingers. Push the inner triad of the hand down. Good. Corey, little micro bend in the elbows. And then, yeah, I know. Good. Really nice. My Tuesday morning people are going to have deja vu. I want you to find a rounded upper back here, cat pose. Good. Let the head fall heavy. Yeah. See if you can release all that tension in your neck. Pause and breathe into the back body. Let the shoulders fall off the sides and see if you can expand through the back lungs. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, go ahead and reverse that action. Find a back bend in the upper back. And moving slow like this really lets you isolate the pose. Bring all of your attention between the shoulder blades. Push down into your hands and imagine you are trying to pull them back toward your knees. Pull your chest forward and up. Good. Any amount, see if you can straighten into the arms by pushing the floor away. And I know my hyperextenders have to work extra hard to reverse that. Good. Beautiful. I can see some of you are really working this. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale, shift round through the upper spine. Beautiful. Now we're going to start to move a little bit quicker, but I'd like to invite you to keep all of that attention on your upper back. Inhale here, exhale, shift. Switch to the back bend. Beautiful. Good. Inhale, exhale, shift. So notice we're switching on the exhales. Inhale here, nice rounding. Really let the back lungs puff up. Exhale, switch. Beautiful. Now take this on your own, flow with your breath a little bit, but keep that attention on that upper back area. See if you can get that bending and flexing out of the low spine and bring it more up into the upper back. And of course, the low spine and the neck come along for the ride a little bit, but the area that really drives it are those upper back muscles. Beautiful. Find a neutral spine. Bring your knees together to touch. Watch my feet very closely. Bring your feet together to touch. Heels point together, inner heels touch. Round through your spine as you sit back to your heels. Okay, so I'm going to show you from the side. This is going to be pretty intense for some of you. If that's you, you just slowly ease your way back into your heels. Maybe take your blocks on either side of your thigh and really work down into that. This is for my feet, girl, which we can all use. Feet are our foundation. Good. Now take your hands onto your knees and round through your back. I know it feels counterintuitive. We back bend so much in yoga, but what does it do when you round through your spine? So much more weight comes onto your heels. See if you can keep the inner heels pulling in together. See if you can bring any weight into the feet as you deepen into the pose. If that is a big no way, Holly, that's fine. Move slow, let the breath soften. Let the pose naturally evolve and unfold. How easy or challenging is it this morning to find stillness in your body? To find stillness in your mind? Note that. Let yourself come on forward. Tap out your feet. Flex the toes. Wow, people really love doing that. That was an awesome one. Flex through the toes. Ball mounds push down, heels pull together. This is the last one we'll do today. Spread all of your toes apart, even the little pinky toe. And again, sit back to your feet. Show you the side view. Again, we're really looking to round through that spine. Now, typically when I show these postures, one of the two feels much deeper in people's bodies. If this is your pose, that's excruciating. Take those blocks on either side of your thighs. Use your hands on the blocks to gently lower yourself into the pose. Every time you step on your mat, you take on this role of becoming your best teacher. So that means that you get to really say what works for your body that morning, how far you're supposed to go, what you need. It's a big responsibility. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about yoga is it teaches you to understand yourself. That's why I always say, look inside, take note. How does the body feel? How does the mind feel? Good. I know it's really speaking to some of you. You're doing fantastic. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, come back on forward, tap out the feet. All right, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's take our right arm straight up toward the sky. Ooh, spread open through that pec, push down through the left hand. See if you can even out the hips any amount. And on your exhale breath, reach that arm through. Okay, now if you've gone to this pose before, I'm going to ask you to stay with me today as I gradually help you deepen it. I know there are a lot of variations with this pose, but I'd like to keep you really safe and help you maximize the outcome. So I want you to see if you can really reach your left hand through even more, placing the back of the left shoulder on the mat, almost like I was pulling your left wrist. Then take, I think I said that wrong. Reach your right hand through. Then take your left hand right next to your face, tense up on your fingertips, almost like a little crab claw. Good. Now push into your fingertips, deepen the twist. Beautiful. And the head is really grounded, really secure on the mat. Right hand reaches, left hand pushes. Any amount, get that right shoulder blade on the floor. Good. And now within this really complex wound up posture, see if you can soften the breath and the jaw. And see if you can allow yourself to connect once again to that fluidity, lengthening the spine on the inhale, twisting deeper on the exhale. Really nice. If you have further to go, I want you to really think about how much more can I get that right shoulder blade on the floor. I know it's really tempting to pull in lots of flary leg positions in this pose. Today, keep it very simple. Bring all of your focus and your attention into that thoracic spine. Let's take one more deep breath in here. On your exhale, really push into your left fingertips, come all the way out, all the way through. Give yourself one more reach up of that right arm. And while you're reaching, yeah, some of you are utilizing the left fingertips, totally fine. I want you to see if you can really breathe into that right pec, chest, armpit, chest area, spread open any amount. Beautiful. I know it feels tight. Exhale, bring the right hand back down. Reset, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Good. My hyperextenders, watch that even here. Oh my goodness, she never lets up with that. Inhale, reach the left hand high. Beautiful. Deepen the breath, open through the pec, open through the chest, any amount. Exhale, thread that left arm through. Yeah, beautiful. So now imagine I'm pulling your left wrist all the way through and you're really deepening. You're really trying to get that left shoulder blade on the floor. Right hand comes in right in front of your face and really use that crab claw, tent up on fingertips, push down to twist deeper. Yeah, these look really nice. I'm proud of you for really reining it in and isolating. They're fantastic poses. Great job. Use that right hand, push it into the floor. Use the left wrist to pull you deeper. Good, James. Looks really nice. Now I know this pose is very bound and intense, but can you soften your jaw? Can you soften your breath? Really nice. Let's take one more round of breath here. Deep inhale. Exhale, use the right hand, push you back up. Good. Take all fours, find a neutral spine. Oh, you can reach the hand up. Beautiful. When you come back down, reset, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Pubic bone pulls in toward the navel, chest pulls forward. Beautiful. Awesome. Now walk your knees back 2 inches. So you're gonna feel like you're in a really long, extended pose. Yeah, really good. Some of you, your knees will come off the blanket. That's not a problem. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Take a deep breath in. Before you go back, stay with me. Find a back bend in your spine. Yeah, look up toward the sky. Back bend. A little bit more from the upper back than the lower back. Good. I want you to keep this extension as you take your next breath out. Lift your hips up and back to downward dog. Yeah, beautiful. Let the head fall through the arms last if you haven't already. Beautiful. Downward facing dog pose. Let the head get very heavy. Let the legs be straight. Work to find stillness in your pose. Work to even out the breath. Soften through the face, the jaw. And just like we did in tabletop pose, push through the inner triad of the hand. Make the outer side of the hand light, inner side of the hand heavy. Bend your elbows into my hands even more. Try and push my hands away. Oh, yes. And now push. That is your pose. Fantastic. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, bring the knees down. Widen the knees as wide as your yoga mat. So it might feel like a wider pose of a child than you're used to. Touch your big toe tips together. Sit your torso back to your heels. Beautiful. Now let the hairline touch the floor to lengthen the back of the neck. And make a really good effort here to soften through your abdominal muscles. Let any sort of gripping or holding or tension completely go here. Child's pose. Scan the body for any areas of held tension. Is everything feeling okay? Yeah, I just do certain. Okay, yeah. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, push into your hands, lift your torso. All right, we're gonna take a pose called 90-90. Really gets into the hips nicely. Sort of a modification from pigeon pose, but there are some benefits to it in the sense that you can find really nice alignment in the front leg instead of really trying to cram yourself into this pose that doesn't work anatomically for many people. So we're gonna set the front leg forward, and you can look here for a moment before you go in. Glance at my legs and all of the angles. All of them form 90 degrees, okay? So right leg comes forward, shin bone parallel to the top edge of your yoga mat, feet flex, and then really walk your hands around the front thigh so that your sternum comes down over your leg, okay? So we're not really looking to be out here. We're not really looking to be in here. I'd like for you to find that direct line. Maybe elbows come down, maybe forehead comes to the block. But again, we're not necessarily looking to just achieve maximum results of the pose by really rounding into the spine and bypassing that spinal extension. Does that make sense? I want you to find that length first, okay? And then you go down. Some of you are nodding in total understanding because any sort of forward bend at all, we're like, I gotta get my head to the floor. All right, set yourself up, right shin bone parallel to the top edge of your mat. All angles in both of your wonderful legs are at 90 degrees. This is one of my favorite hip openers for all of you that pointed to your hips this morning. Okay, you're on the other side, but that's totally fine. I'm just making a mental note. Okay, thank you, James. Making my life super easy this morning. All right, Corey, I'm gonna have you pull this leg back. There you go, my friend. Does that feel okay? Ah. Okay, and then again, I want you to let this pose be a little bit fluid and flexy in terms of letting yourself deepen gradually. And I know so many of you in here, so many of you practice with me very regularly. There's some openness there. So today, I want you to really see if instead of just rounding in, you can see if you can get your navel a little bit higher on your thigh, reaching toward your knee. Yeah. Beautiful. Find length from sacrum all the way to crown. And within this pose, there's a letting go that needs to come in. With every exhale, see if you can soften more those muscles that so tightly grip your right hip. And I always say to my Thursday night crew in restorative and pranayama that these gentle, restorative, softening poses and practices are so much harder than those fast-paced moving ones. Finding this stillness and this surrender is deeply, deeply challenging. And if that's hard for you today or any day, that's not a bad thing. It's just noteworthy as you continue to study and learn more and more about what makes you you. And just like with most poses, as you soften more into this one, you'll be able to find more length in your spine. And rather than staying very stuck or stationary, allow that to naturally unfold and evolve. Some of you, that block will drop down. Some of you, your head will naturally touch onto the ground, and that is a-okay. See if you can find that repetitive letting go every exhale. Deepen, soften. Really, really nice postures here. Go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose. On your exhale, walk your hands underneath your shoulders, lift your torso. Beautiful. Extend your legs in front of you just for a moment in Dandasana to clear that. If you're anything like me, it can feel a little Tin Man-like after getting out of that one. Push your heels into the floor, lift your knees, make your thighs tight to really clear the knees. And similarly to the way we began in Sukhasana, take your hands behind you and just for a moment, lift the chest. Yeah, push into your finger pads, get taller in your spine. So good, let's change sides. Left shin bone comes to parallel the top edge of your mat. Right leg comes back. Look down at your legs before you fully go into the pose. Note if there are right angles between all of your joints. And then gently start to walk your hands forward so your sternum tracks right over your thigh in the same direction of your knee. One side will feel starkly different. Assess that, note that. And again, rather than making that end result, head down, rounded spine, see if you can instead today find extension in the spine. Navel gets higher on the thigh, closer to the knee. And with every exhale, you tap into that letting go, those tightly bound hip muscles in the left. The past few days have been so much colder than we've been used to, and I feel in my body so much more tightness. So if that's you this morning, you are not alone. And just like we did on the other side, allow this pose to be very fluid for you. Let go and surrender. So if you are one of the many people whose hips, low back really can interfere with your day-to-day life, or they feel really tight or painful, this is a great pose to bring in. And I really like it in the sense that it strongly protects and supports the knee as well. So keep this one with you. Tuck it in your back pocket. Last few breaths here. See if you can find ultimate letting go. All right, take a deep inhalation. On your exhale, walk your hands underneath your shoulders, push your torso up and look up here. Right, I'm going to show you a version of Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. And if you're joining from home and don't have a bolster, you can easily take a couple towels or blankets and fold them in half the long way to simulate a bolster. Okay, so some of you are familiar with this. Today we're going to bring in a belt. Again, if you don't have that at home, easy to omit. And the belt is about as wide as my outer hips for this pose today. Okay, so my inner hips are here, my hip points. It's about as wide as my outer hips. Then I'm going to sit on the edge of the bolster and put the belt on my big toes. And then I'm going to walk myself back. Now, watch really closely. The tops of my shoulders start on the bolster. Watch what my hands do. They're gonna pull me back. Bolster comes toward my feet. And I land with my shoulder blades nice and heavy on the floor. It's a heavenly, heavenly pose. Reach your legs out. Now again, watch what my feet are gonna do. Heels go out wider than my toes. Okay, my low back friends, this is fantastic. If the low back does speak to you, this pose should alleviate it the way the feet are set up. But if it does speak to you, I want you to bring a bigger lift into the chest, okay? So I'll stay here for a moment for those of you who need the visual, and if you're joining from home, you can watch, and then I'll get up and help as needed. Okay. So that belt is actually pretty wide. So some of you have it a little narrow. We're going to go to about the outer hip width today, and then just loop it around your big toes. Once you get back, let the heels widen, let the toes come in. Yep, and that's going to really help to alleviate the low spine. Corey, let me know if your back bothers you in here, and I'll give you an alternative. But I'm gonna let the heels go wide, toes pull in. Does that feel okay? Then open your arms out to the side and really lift the chest. Yeah, this one's for you, my dear. Okay, before you go in, my friend, you're gonna have to go right into the wall. So I'm gonna pull you forward just so you don't have to get out and do it again. I think that'll be okay. Give it a shot. Really nice setup. Good job, Annie. Kayla, come on. Let me give you my smaller bolster. And then you're going to go all the way back so your shoulder blades touch, okay? You can, because you actually don't move the bolster, you move yourself, believe it or not. So take a hold of the bolster and you're going to just pretend, yeah. Go a little bit further back, Mary. One more inch, do it for me. Perfect. Now open your arms out. Does that feel okay? And I'm going to gently widen your heels and bring your toes in. Feel okay? Great setup. Yeah. Oh, I'm coming for you, dear one. You good?
Yes.
That looks good. Let's widen the heels and let the toes knock in. And I'm going to just tighten this belt for you a hair. Okay, big toe, boom, let that go. How's that feel? It's like the sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
Open the arms out to the side. Yeah, beautiful. When you hit this pose right, I was helping some of you into it and you all kind of gave me that like sigh of relief. It's a great, great pose. I'll show you one more time at home, not because I want to be in it or anything. So see if any amount you can let the toes, the belt is helping you, let the big toes almost like they're trying to knock in toward each other. And the heels go wider, and that's going to provide a lot of space and relief in your low back and your sacrum. And then I'd still like for you to find this pose primarily gentle, but can you any amount lift the chest up toward your chin? And that's at about like 30%. Now wet the lips, allow them to come to a state of touching and not touching. Release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Soften yourself completely and fully and go inward. Mm. See if you can even let the breath go. Now we're going to ease into Shavasana for the last few moments here. And if this pose feels very comfortable for you, some of you have not moved a muscle since you got in, by all means, stay. And your green light with that is, could I fall asleep here? And if not, find a pose that works for you for Shavasana by rolling off to your side. And I really want you to note that there's no right or wrong or good or bad. You don't get bonus points by staying. Find a pose that works for you for your final resting position. Cover yourself if you get cold. Maybe your eyes want to be covered. Call me over if you need support or another prop. And let yourself go back inward, softening fully. Ultimate surrender, letting go. Let loose completely, let go everywhere. Take your hands onto your torso, finding a place of peace. If you're still in Setu Bandha on the bolster, bend into your legs, let the belt fall, place the soles of your feet on the floor. Rest there just for a moment. Everybody roll off to your right side. Turn downwards to come upwards, find a comfortable seat. Take your hands behind you. Fingers point down, heels of the hands touch onto the bolster or whatever prop you're sitting on. Lift your chest. Good, take your hands in. We'll end with one Om. Let's take a clearing breath in. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Thank you so much for coming out this morning and for holding space while I sub for Nicole. It's always fun to teach a different class and to see some new faces. So thank you. I honor all of you. May you have a wonderful rest of your Friday and a beautiful weekend. Namaste. Good to see so many of you. Awesome. Have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining from home.